Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel, the channel that brings to you different topics, programs that you would enjoy. Today is May 19th and it's a Friday, and we bring to you what a program we call Ubuntu Sports. As usual, with different topics that will be bringing up for discussions, and you, our viewers, can join us and also participate during this program by typing in your comments into the comments chat, or you can also follow us on Twitter, and also you can contribute via Twitter, and we will be able to read all your contributions just here. And tonight I'm joined by the Ubuntu analyst in Lameck, and also Mr. Abia, who will be looking at MAPEPA Chitundu. They're back in the World Cup squad. The ABSA Cup Final, which was supposed to be tomorrow, has been cancelled. The Legends game between Zambia and Barcelona is coming up on Thursday. What is happening there? Power Dynamos and MUZA have qualified to play continental football. That's what we'll be talking about tonight, and a lot more. So keep calm, tag as many people as possible, because the Ubuntu analysts are ready to join me and start the program tonight. Can we have the analysts join us so that we can go in direct into the program? Good evening, Lameck. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports. Hi, Lameck, are you there?
Yes. Good evening, Ruben, and good evening to people that are listening and people who are watching this program. We welcome them to another show of Ubuntu Sports, where we try to break down Zambian sport as as detailed as we can.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Abia. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports, Takulandilani, all the way from the eastern province of Zambia.
Yeah, ni chintu chabwino maningi kutirandira pa Ubuntu channel. Thank you so much, Ruben, and thank you so much, Lameck, to the Ubuntu channel team. And we welcome you, the viewers. I think we are going to be with us in the next 1 hour. We have a lot to discuss, as we have heard to the host there. So please stay with us. We have a lot to discuss in the local football games.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Abia. And indeed, you can tag as many people as possible. Guys, let's start the program, shall we? Because we've got a lot to discuss on. Tomorrow we're supposed to be watching the ABSA Cup Final, but it has been postponed till next week, the 27th. Lameck, did you see that coming? And the calendar for the Zambian Super League now has also been distorted.
Yes, it was something that was expected. I think it was something that was expected. Earlier on, I think there were rumors running around that the cup final may actually be played on the 13th. That should have been last week, but I think the organizers kept the date. Unfortunately, last minute changes came in and the match had to be postponed. Both teams were in full preparation for the match. We saw both teams also coming up, trying to be innovative, to call more fans to come and watch the final match. And then the postponement on itself has had an impact on the Zambian Super League, because the expectation was this coming weekend the final games of the Super League would be played. But again, another aspect is that the final is not just any other final. It is the only cup competition we have in Zambia, so it has a lot of importance attached to it. That's why it has a dedicated weekend. But if it was just another final, maybe a midweek fixture would have been done to allow the league conclude in May, unlike the June that we have now.
All right. Don't you think this will affect the morale of the teams that are participating? Looking at, they were geared to battle it out tomorrow, but then things have been changed. Have changed, and they've put it next week. It's like now 2 weeks of just training and training and training. Would that kill the morale? And what happens to the people who bought the tickets, Lameck?
There hasn't been so much guidance on the people that have bought the tickets so far. But my guess is that the tickets that were bought, because they may be change of venue. So the tickets that were bought may actually be recognized because the tickets come with a barcode. So they may actually be recognized despite the change of venue. That is something that is already being talked about. And then again, for the team's morale, I don't think it may have such a huge impact on the morale of the teams. I think the teams are really looking ready to end the league, and the pushing of the date, I think it may not have that much of an impact. I think it doesn't have that much of an impact because, footballers love to play. They love it when they're, in their, in their usual ways where they train, they do all that stuff. And then that time off that they get when they're off season, for most players, it's a boring time because they don't get to do what they love. So I don't think it may have a negative impact on the morale of the players.
All right. Let me talk to Abia now. Abia, you've heard of the cancellation of the ABSA Cup, not the cancellation, but the postponement of the final. What do you think about the postponement?
Yeah, it was a really unexpected thing because normally when the date has been set for the final, has never been postponed in the Zambian football history, and this is the first time. But according to the information that I have from both teams, Forest and FC MUZA, they have responded to say we have no problem with the postponement of the final. This will give the ample time for injured players who are injured, like for FC MUZA, that man who is the top scorer on their club was injured, and they are hoping for that player to recover before the final. So that is a morale booster to FC MUZA, that they can see their talisman there to be on the pitch. Even at Forest Rangers also, they are also using the same language to say they have no any other disappointment because they will give the team ample time to prepare and to be full geared for the final. So I don't think there is so much impact in the players or the team, but I feel somewhere like on ticket issues, I feel there will be an impact if there will be any changes of venue. Because when you see Hero Stadium, capacity is very high. It's about 60,000. So if those people who bought those tickets, the number is higher than the venue that is going to be selected apart from Hero Stadium, I feel it may bring impact also to those who bought a ticket. If that capacity of that venue will be, the number will not accommodate all of them, that will be a disappointment, and that will be also discouraged to those who bought the ticket. But if the venue that will be selected will accommodate all those people who bought those tickets, I think there will be no problem.
Thanks for that. Lameck, a great submission from Abia there and a great concern. What happens if the number that bought the tickets can overflow the Nkoloma Stadium, if it was taken to Nkoloma or Woodland Stadium? That is a valid concern.
Yeah, it's actually a very valid concern. But again, yeah, thinking deep about it, it's valid because if you focus on the Nkoloma Stadium VIP sitting area, because like the VIP area, the tickets were, I'm sure the Hero Stadium VIP area is a little bigger than the Nkoloma Stadium or the Woodland Stadium. That I think these are two available venues that can be used. So it's way bigger, so they may find an alternative. And then another issue is that the coming in of the head of state and maybe a possible entourage that may come with him, special guests that may come to the final. We may have a limited number. We may actually have a limited number. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like officials from both teams, from the sponsors, from the association, and
People from
delegates
State
that may
House.
come. Yeah. So we may have just a limited number of people that may actually be allowed to sit in that VIP area, which means Nkoloma Stadium may actually need to, fans may actually be pushed to the grandstands, where I feel maybe it may be, maybe it may be a negative on their part because people paid for VIP and then you get negative seating where you go and sit in the grandstand, and we know we don't have that shade. So those are also issues that I think the association should also, no, the association and sponsors should also consider when looking at this issue. A possible ticket refund, I don't think that's possible at this point of time. But maybe limiting of how many tickets may be sold may be a possible measure. Because yeah, you can count how many tickets have been sold so far, and compare with the number of people that the sitting capacity of the stadium. But we all know like stadiums tend to overflow most times. We've had cases where stadiums hold 90, 80,000, and they may hold like maybe a little higher, 1,000 more, 2,000 more. Such cases have been recorded in history. But we can't rely so much on that. And I think it's a tough position for the organizers, for FAS, for ABSA. It's a really tough position. They have to take. This is when people have to take up responsibility and make a plan that will work, because the Heroes one may not be workable at this point.
Great. You also raised up the issue of Andrew Piri. Do you think this will give an advantage to Muza, who we know their main man was injured during the game for Zanaco and was in doubt to feature in this final? But now with the postponement, it might give them some room at least for him to be ready for the final.
Yeah, actually, I was in conversation with Andrew. I think it's coming up really well in terms of injury. He may start training. He may get back to full contact training soon. It was a bad knock that he had, because again, the knock that he had another injury, I think, in the semi-final, where he had a bad tackle on him, but he decided to fight for the team. He continued in that match and almost scored. But for the Zanaco game, it was bad and had to be withdrawn. It has a negative impact on FC Muza, because the FC Muza we have is not the same FC Muza. The FC Muza with Andrew is not the same FC Muza without Andrew. So he's a big influence in that dressing room. He's a big influence in that team. And Muza will be clapping. Muza will be happy with the postponement, because it gives them more time to get their star man back and ready for the final. Yes, he may get back. He may not get fully back to play 90 minutes, but maybe he may be introduced at some point, and that is a positive on their part. It's a good thing, but again, we wait to see, how he recovers during this very week, because we expect one or two updates from people close to the team and people close to the player.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for the submission. We wish Forest Rangers and Muza all the best when they battle it out next week in the ABSA Cup. We'll come again next week, Friday, to give you more updates concerning the game before it's played, and also confirm the venue for the game and whatever will be happening. We'll give you more details next week on this program. Let's move on to the next topic. The 5-man women's squad for the World Cup was released, prepared by Coach Bruce. And in that, two names came up. MAPEPA, despite being chased in Korea for some bad conduct in the camp, is back. And also, we've seen the coming back of ABSA Chitundu. And Inonge has been dropped. Lameck, let me start with you. What do you make of the 35 provisional squad of the women's national team?
I think it's a great team. Looking at it, I think it's a great team. We've had a lot of star performers in the league being included in that team. We've had MAPEPA. One thing about star players. So one thing people need to know about star players is that people who are of who are always attend like those star performers have always like check back with history. There are always one or two issues around them. We can talk about high profile players. Maybe Messi or Ronaldo, maybe we may exclude them, but a lot of talented players always have one issue or two. But for MAPEPA, the good thing is that FAS did not give up on her. She's an asset to the team. She scored crucial goals that led us to the AFCON, that led us to the World Cup. And then she's been a strong pillar in the team in the absence of players such as Barbara and Rachel Kundananji. And leaving her for me was not even something I would even think about, because I knew whatever she did, she's still a young girl. We can always talk to her and try to correct the behavior. And then good to see that the coach still has a belief in her. And then we expect her going forward to improve her conduct and then deliver on the pitch, because she's received a lot of attacks that may have an aspect, or that may have a problem with on the mental side. It may have an impact on on her, but it's good that to see her back. We also have ABSA Chitundu, but again, there's been a lot of politicking around on these players, especially players such as ABSA, Siomala, Inonge, and the like. Look, if you want to analyze a team like Zambia, we have to focus on which positions are our strongest, and which are our best players, and which positions do our best players play. You understand? So some of these positions that we have players that are doing well, we have players that are doing much better than the players that are doing well in the league. In reference maybe to a player like ABSA Chitundu, yes, she's been doing great, but her form, she struggled with form this season. She hasn't been the best. And then we have a player like Rachel Kundananji, who's been scoring goals for fun in Spain. These are calls that the coach has to make. They're tough calls, but and not everyone can make the team. This is what people should understand. When the final team is called, and then a player that you think is more talented, a player that you feel deserves the place, does not get the place, maybe they didn't really perform at that level, because again, you can't use old performances as a reference for picking a team, because players tend to have bad form during their career. So you may see that she may be called today, but her form in camp is not so good, doesn't impress the coach, and then we have a young Melan Mulenga who comes and impresses the coach, does so much well in camp, and then gets the nod ahead of Avel or any other player that we think deserves a place, or maybe that people may argue that she deserves a place than another player, because you are not in training, you're not seeing what these players are putting in. Let the coach who sees what the players are putting in choose the team, and then we'll critique the coach after the results, because the coach's job, we've tasked him to get us results. So if he does the job and fails to get us results, then we can easily replace the coach. For me, that has always been my model. Let the coach do his job. When he fails, we'll get another one.
Great. At this point, let me welcome Lawrence. Lawrence, welcome to Want to Sports. You've heard Lameck's submission saying it's okay for MAPEPA to be included in the squad. Last time you appeared on this show, you said MAPEPA need to be disciplined in some way, one of which maybe she can be exempted from being part of the squad. But now we have the provisional squad, 35 member squad. MAPEPA is part of the team. What do you have to say, Lauren?
Well, for me, I think what we are just saying right now is that it's okay for star players to behave the way they want, and they go away with it. That's what we are communicating to even the players that are coming up. Because what I see is that if any other player goes out there at the World Cup and behaves in the same way, and probably gets exempted later on, I think they have an argument now to say, but what did you do with the other one? So every time we should remember that every action, especially when it comes to discipline, every action that we take is actually set as precedence for players that are following and for other players at large. So for me, I feel probably we have taken it so lightly. We have taken it with kid gloves, but we are trying to we are putting it into the player's mind that we need her so badly we can't do anything without her, and therefore whatever happened is all forgiven, and let's just forget about it like it never happened. I think that should not be the case. For me, I look at it from a broader perspective. So if let's say ABSA Chitundu does the same wherever we go, and she is exempted from the squad from the squad that follows after that, don't you think she has an argument now to give, to say, but what did you do with the other one? What did you do with that one? What did you do with that one? This is what we are doing right now. So for me, anyway, probably I might not have all the facts. Maybe they may have given us some certain sanctions somewhere. Maybe we can't know everything anyway. Maybe it's a matter of some financial sanctions that she's been given. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell. But if nothing completely has been done, other than being sent last time back home, then I think we are really treading on terrible ground, on dangerous ground.
Are you happy with ABSA Chitundu is back in the squad? I know, Lameck, you want to react to that, but before that, I want to also hear you. We've seen a swap in the squad. Inonge has been dropped. ABSA Chitundu is back in the squad. I also want to hear your comments on those.
Well, when it comes to Inonge, actually, I think I expressed some mixed reactions here and there last time she was speaking, because I felt she has just spent too little time with the team for her to deserve a spot just like that. I felt it was too quick, it was too sudden, it was too early. But anyway, just like Lameck put it, I always say that the coach actually should have the final say. Whatever the coach decides, we support the coach. And at the end of the day, the only thing that we demand from the coach is results. If results don't show, then we have the right to now question the coach. As at now, the way the team has come out, it's pointless to start picking our own players, say this one should have been there, this one should have been there, or whatever the case. The only thing that we ask for the coach is performances, and that's it. So he should know who will help him. But in the previous friendlies, actually, I think I mentioned to say I don't know what criteria they have used to determine Inonge's appearances for the national team, just so sudden like that. And I think probably the coach has seen something that he wants to tweak, to change and all that. But it's not to say this is the final squad. I think the coach still has got the leverage to include even people who are not on the 5-man shortlist, if need be. But as things stand, I think it's always important that he goes with a tried and tested ABSA Chitundu, who has performed at several tournaments for us and has been exceptional. So it's not a surprise for me. It's not really a surprise. And going forward, probably, I'm not saying Inonge is bad or anything like that. All I'm trying to say is, I think Inonge needs quite some time to integrate into the team, because remember, she just neutralized the nationality into Zambian not so long ago, and the football that probably she was playing in the United States and here is very different. African football is quite different and all that. So it will take some time, but I think she'll get there. Inonge looks promising, and she'll get there. We should see her featuring frequently for the national team in the future.
All right, great. Mr. Abia, let me throw the ball to you. I saw you also wanted to react when Lawrence finished commenting. You can go ahead and give your reaction.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ruben. You know, the thing is, we may not have all the players in the squad at the same time. I think players have to understand this. I can take you to Brazil. everyone know Roberto Firmino, but he has been playing good at Liverpool. But he was left out to the FIFA World Cup that was played in Qatar, and the coach opted for Gabriel Jesus instead. So players need to understand that it's not all the time you can be on the squad. And one thing that I like for the coach is that he likes picking different players and assess them. If I can fill this Inonge here, how can it work? If I can bring this Margaret Beremu here, what can it be? So the time that the coach have to assess those players, let him do that. And this is a provisional squad, as Lawrence has outlined. So we'll have the final 23 or 26 member squad that will present Zambia to the FIFA World Cup. If it is 26 member squad, that means 9 players will be dropped from that same squad. If it is 23 member squad, it means 12 players will be dropped from the same squad. So those players who are going to be dropped, they have to understand the criteria that they have competition in the team. And they have to know that now I need to fill up my socks for me next time to be on the squad. So right now, you know that in the midfield, which competition do I have? Oh, I have Margaret Berem, I have this one, I have this one. So now work on your what? On your weakness. That's what I can advise to the players. As for MAPEPA, my response is like this. I'll take you back to the 2012 AFCON, the issue of Clifford Mulenga. You know what happened? Clifford Mulenga, when he was leaving the camp, he was not alone. He was with the other guys, whether there were 3 or 4 players. But what they did, the fellow players, they apologized to the coach and the entire panel to the fans. And they were allowed to rejoin the camp. But Clifford Mulenga declined to apologize. And what did MAPEPA do after being chased to Korea? He wrote a letter to fans for apologies. And we don't know whether that apology was accepted or not. But what we have is the MAPEPA is on what? Is on the list. So when a player apologizes, he or she knows what happens. So for apologies, it shows that you have accepted your wrongdoings and you are ready to change. So it's up for fans to give you chance to continue or not. So let's not scrutinize this. Yes.
Point taken, Mr. Abia. Though Lawrence didn't want to hear issues of apologies, because I know Lawrence you react to because of the apology. But before that, let me hear Lameck's submissions, because I also wanted to react to your submission. Lameck, you can go ahead before I go to Lawrence.
So on the issue of MAPEPA, the MAPEPA issue is a delicate issue, because the interpretation of what transpired is wrong with what is in public domain. Because what is in public domain is totally different with what actually happened and why she was out of camp. She was like removed from camp. I'm not in the position to give exact detail of what happened. But what I would like to say is to dispel rumors that she was caught smoking marijuana and the like. That is wrong information. On the player, that is wrong information, and that should be termed as malicious, I think. And the other part of what he said, players may use it as reference. I don't think players will always use it. Will use something like that as reference. I think from this time on going forward, players will be taught while they're in camp, they're picked for camp, they'll go to camp. I think the technical bench and everyone involved will sit down with the players, talk to them, because it is an incident that happened and everyone should learn from it. So somebody who comes in and does something that you've already talked about, they're like a repeat offender because you are telling them about it. So we may not do the exemptions because they've seen it happen and then they decided to do it. That sometimes it's just players being notorious. Sometimes, so sometimes you may need to crack the whip. Sometimes it happens out of an accident. You listen to that to all that information. But for me, what I want to dispel is the fact that what is in public domain may not be the absolute truth. And also going forward, the technical bench, the FAS, and everyone involved, there are already plans that when they are in camp has rules. So that may also be added on what is and what isn't. So for me, that is what my addition to what Lawrence had said. It's a great submission from Lawrence, but I think that additional data is something that I still felt would be important to the listeners and the viewers.
Great. Lawrence, you wanted to come in as well.
Yeah, first and foremost, I have not mentioned any offense that happened, whatever disciplinary offense it was. If it was worthy of someone being chased out of camp, then it was not something small. Let's bear that in mind. So from what I'm hearing is that I think Abia mentioned of a letter. She wrote the letter and apologized. It's like we talk about these things over and over. I think you remember there's a time we're talking about some behavior of a player who I don't know what exactly he did. I can't remember. And had written an apology to that effect, to say, I regret my actions. And then we're talking about it. Does that mean that we were talking about it? Does it mean that because someone has apologized, then there should be no consequences? And we agreed here to say no. It means that what we are trying to say is that our players can do what they want, misbehave, and then write an apology, and then they go away with it, which should not be the case. Also, I've heard of I think it's Lameck mentioning to say no, it cannot be used as a reference. It means that it's a repeat offense. Well, it means that we have got room for brand new offenses. That's what we are trying to say. We can have brand new offenses and apologize, and then it goes scot-free. It means that now we have crossed away that offense. Now no one should. If someone does this again, then that's when they can have a punishment. So we move on to the next one. Then another one comes with the latest offense. Then we also talk about it and say, no, because of an apology, so we move away with it. It's okay, unless someone does it again. Then for how long? At the end of the day, each and every player.
All right, we seem to have lost Lawrence there. Abby, wanted to react to Lawrence's submission.
Yes, when a player apologizes, it doesn't mean that player will be straight given will be given straight answer to say we have forgiven you. No, there is a disciplinary committee that will look at the issue, and after that they'll come up with a judgment. Then, right now, disciplinary committee has not sat for MAPEPA. We are just assuming. So let's wait for disciplinary committee with the answer that they will come up with. If the matter is serious, they will deal with the MAPEPA. If the matter is not serious, then we'll see what will happen. But I think for now, apologies is just to show that you are a player, a disciplined player. It doesn't mean when you apologize, it ends there. No, it's just to show that you yourself, you are disciplined. You are a disciplined player. So it's just a beginning of things that will be in a line of a right way. That's a right thing for anybody who feels he has done something wrong. He has to apologize. Leaving the camp not at the right time is also where a player can feel good to say, I apologize for what has happened. So that's a beginning of discipline. That's what I can outline.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move forward. Let's make some progress. Great submissions there. Unfortunately, we've lost Lawrence, who was also putting across his point. But moving forward, let's look at the teams that will be representing us in the continental football in terms of CAF and CAF Confederation, and also the Champions League. We've got Power Dynamos confirmed champions of the Zambian Super League, and also the runners-up in MUZA. Lameck, you heard the comments coming from the MUZA founder, Mr. Keith Mwemba, saying that, look, MUZA, yes, that seems like they're underdogs, and they also want to try in terms of continental football, because people out there were saying MUZA are not ready and they can't perform in the continental football. They're saying, but the owner is saying other things. Wanted to get your reaction in terms of the teams that will be representing us in the continental, in Power Dynamos and MUZA. Are you confident with these teams?
Number one is that don't kill a young dream. We all start from somewhere, so you don't kill a young dream. That's number one. And number two, I'm really confident with FC MUZA. I think they have.
Hi, Lameck, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you don't kill a young dream. Let MUZA go and explore, because they deserve it. It's not like teams were appointed like this one should go, this one shouldn't go. They fought hard for this. Everyone had the opportunity to fight and get that position. And MUZA did their homework. They did what they had to do and got that position. The best we can do is to support the club. I wish the corporate world can come on board, support the club, help it grow, because we need to start now, delinking from clubs being a league being dominated by clubs owned by companies, because that limits our spending as a league. Because if companies are in debt, it becomes a challenge for the league. But back to the topic is that let FC MUZA go and play. Let Power Dynamos go and play. The only thing we can do is wish them well, support them, and hope that they can do the best so that they bring us back those 2 slots that we lost. Look at Tanzania. Tanzania now should be like a 60th best league in Africa in terms of club football, because of moves that were done by just 2 teams. They only have 2 big teams. The other ones, yes, they try, but the big teams, Simba and Yanga, who are very big rivals, have been doing it for them. For Zambia, if we can support those that get the opportunity, we can be in a much better place. And then remember, we were somewhere like 7th, and then because of underperformance from a lot of these teams, we lost the 2 slots, dropped down to below 12th position in the rankings of the leagues, and here we are now struggling to even get 4 teams in CAF football. But all going forward, I'm confident that MUZA got a slot. They deserve it. They were brilliant at home. They went away. They won matches at home. They lost home. They lost away. They drew home. They drew away. They've done their homework. It's now time for teams to wake up and try to assert their dominance. If there's Zesco United, the Zanakos, this is time to wake up. If FC MUZA can do it, the Zescos can also do it. Let's not kill a young dream. Let these boys dream. Let these boys go and experience football outside the country. I submit.
All right. Let's not kill a young dream. Abia, wanted also to get your thoughts concerning Power Dynamos and MUZA qualifying for continental football. Are they fit to represent Zambia and give us the 4 slots?
First of all, let me congratulate Power Dynamos for winning the league. And also let me congratulate FC MUZA for making it possible to the continental football as CAF representative for Zambia, CAF Confederation. From your question, I can say yes, they are fit. Why? Because they have managed to qualify, which means they want to compete in that competition. Other teams that are behind them, they have failed. So if you are failing in the local league, then you are the first failure to the continental thing. So positive comment may be given, negative comment may be given, but let's follow what is positive. Right now, we have FC MUZA, we have Power Dynamos. These guys, they will represent Zambia in the CAF competition games, whether we like it or not. Then the issue is, let's support them. If FC MUZA, we are saying they're unfit, why they are in the second position? That means they are fit. If Power Dynamos may win the league, we have 18 teams and they have come up top. We are saying they are unfit, which means all the teams that are below them are unfit. So Power Dynamos, they are fit to compete. It's just to encourage them to pull up their socks when they are facing the matches, crucial matches in the competition, for them to bring us back that top 4 slot that Lawrence has said. You know, we have a problem here in Zambia because we like scrutinizing everything. Scrutinizing. No. We have tried Green Buffaloes. We have tried Red Arrows in the CAF Confederation. What did they bring us? They have bring us into losing that last 2 slot that we had. We threw it away. Who brought them those 2 slot? It's Nkana and Zesco from their performance. But now look at where Nkana is. Look at where Zesco is. They are not in a right form right now. So let's try these 2 teams. They have qualified. Let's just give them encouragement to continue, not to go there and participate, but to go there and compete so that we can see the way forward for Zambia Super League. Lameck has said our league is on number 7. When I was checking last time, our league is on number 15. Zambia
No, that
Super
was
League.
Tanzania. He said Tanzania. Tanzania should be number 6 or 7.
Yeah, right. You see, so if Tanzania can be on that position, why ours is not there? It's because we have a weakness. So let's not demoralize those players. They have confidence that they can compete. Let them compete. Let's give them chance. Let's support them together as Zambia, because they are going to represent Zambia, not just FC MUZA as a football club. They are going to represent a country, a nation like Zambia. So let's support them. That's my thought.
Thanks very much, Lawrence. Over to you. You didn't finish your thought. We lost you there. We wanted you to finish that thought, then you cross over and also give us a comment concerning MUZA and Power Dynamos qualification to continental football.
All right. So I think all I was trying to put across is that let us have a certain disciplinary code of conduct. We should not act because this one is a star or this one is a what. I think this is where we mess up our teams. Team discipline requires that everybody is treated the same regardless of their status in the team. That way, even the young ones who are coming up, those who are going to be in the squad for the first time, or those who are joining the squad, new members of the squad, will learn that there's a certain way they have to behave, even when they become elite superstars. So crossing over to the issue of continental football qualification, I think I've heard quite a number of assertions as to MUZA not being ready. I think this is the term that is being used. They're not ready. They are not good enough. They are like this. They are like that. I think let us. I just keep asking one question.
They should sell the slot to Zesco.
I just ask one question. Those who are ready, why didn't they qualify? And I don't get an answer. No,
yes,
because
that's a point. That's a point, my colleague. That's a point.
Let us just be fair. There is these things. There is a system that has been put in place. There is a way of qualifying, and to qualify for the CAF Champions League, you must be number 1 in Zambia. For us here in Zambia, you must be number 1. To qualify for CAF Confederations Cup, you must be number 2. And the ones that are there, it doesn't matter. Even if Chambishi was champion today, they have qualified to play in the Champions League. Even if Beautycon was, yes. Even if maybe we turn the table upside down and the Beautycon find themselves on top, they have qualified. That is the laid down procedure. So these are things we should not even be debating about, because as things are, I can bring in the English Premier League. I've heard people saying that no, Liverpool deserves to be in the top four so that they can qualify for a champion. Let them win and qualify. End of story. That's the only guideline that is there. So they should find themselves somehow in the top four. They will qualify. End of story. And no one will argue about it. No one will question them. No one will do it. They will have qualified. End of story. So this is not a conversation we should even be having. I think. Let's just congratulate MUZA for the work they have done. I think at the start of the season, I was looking at MUZA probably a mid-table or probably even bottom of the league, somewhere there. That's where I was looking. I'll be very honest. And they shocked me with their week one results by drawing. I think they drew with, is it Nkana, the first game in their own stadium. I can't remember exactly, but that is when I started believing in them. And I've been believing in MUZA ever since. Right here on this platform, I've always said MUZA is going far. MUZA is going far. But even if I was saying that, I never saw them in top two, probably top four, yes, but top two, no. And they have done it. What else can we do apart from say, MUZA, congratulations, you have actually won our hearts. They have defined it and said it is possible, even for an underdog, to make it to even continental football. It's possible. And they have written history for Zambian football. Let's encourage more teams to do that. So all in all, what I can say is this is not a conversation we should be having. This is a conversation that sorts itself on the log table. And the log table today shows MUZA is number 2. And number 2 does what? Goes to Confederations football. End of story.
All right. So we say congratulations to Power and Dynamos and wish them all the best as they go and represent us in the CAF Confederation Cup and also in the CAF Champions League, respectively. We hope they can go as far as possible, maybe semi-finals or reaching the finals, or even bringing the CAF Champions League here in Zambia. Let's wrap this. Let's wrap up this program with the last topic: the Madala football that will be played on the 25th, which is this coming Thursday, in Hero Stadium, in a stadium that we heard that it's not fit for CAF football, but anyway, to be used for Madalas, we've been told, and it's a game that has had a lot of talks, a lot of churches between the ministry and also the organizers of the game and Football Association of Zambia. Lawrence, let me start with you. We're told the game is going on the 25th of May. It's Zambia Legends versus Barcelona Legends.
Okay, there's been quite a lot of going back and forth when it comes to the Ministry of Sports, organizers of this tournament, and the Football Association of Zambia on the other side. And I think last week we touched on this and we spoke about how really it should not have been the case. First and foremost, I think the animosity that we are seeing between football legend Kalusha Walia and the current FAS administration, I think should not be the case. At the end of the day, everybody in FAS should understand that they are holding those positions for the sake of us Zambians in the process of advancing our game. They are not personal to hold positions and all that. They are for Zambia and Zambians, and we the people are the reasons why they are in those offices. So also we should remind our great Kalu that he also is an icon because it's Zambia that gave him the platform and the opportunity to play for us. So at the end of the day, I'm not trying to say this one is wrong or that one is wrong. No, what I'm trying to say is that I would love a situation whereby the FAS administration and Mr. Kalusha Walia actually come to a point where they remove politics from this football. They put their egos and all these things aside and unite for the betterment of this beautiful sport in the country. Ruben, if I was in FAS and some organizers come up with such a very good initiative to bring such kind of a very big game, because remember, this game will actually bring the spotlight on Zambia. So if I was in FAZ and such a thing happens, I think I would lead my administration in partnering with those organizers and looking for which role we can play to ensure that this is a success. Unlike the current situation where we are seeing, I think, FAZ trying to be a hindrance here and there to everything that is happening, but all the same, it's a pity that we have to do all this. We have to go through all this as a country because of egos of people and all that, which is wrong. At the end of the day, this is a very good initiative. We are happy as football fans in the country that there is such an initiative that has come through. We are going to see all these great players coming to the fore. Playing here in Zambia, those guys we used to watch on TV, we have a chance to look at them for the very first time with our own eyes. A good number of us have never had a chance to watch these guys play in Europe, but we will have a chance this time around. I think for us, it's a great initiative.
Lawrence, I don't know if you've seen the prices. You can even sit next to Ronaldinho for 300,000 kwacha, and you can sit after that would be after the game. 300, but the only concern that we have is that Ronaldinho can't speak English, so I don't know what to be doing when you sit closer to it.
No, actually, for fans, it's not about a conversation. I think for most of the fans, it's all about having a photo with him. I think that is what everybody will be interested in. Ruben, I can guarantee you that come that day, when all this is done, Facebook should show you a lot of photos with all these legends, and that is what everybody wants. At least I've had a picture with Ronaldinho. That's it.
All right, let's hear from Mr. Abia. Mr. Abia, what are your thoughts over the game?
Well, good for Zambia. These things, they don't happen. How can what language can I use? Okay, all right. For the lack of better term, I can say we are lucky as Zambia to host Zambia Madaras and Barcelona Madaras in Chizungu, but legends, eh? The people who prayed for the flag of Mother Zambia and the people who prayed for the flag of Barcelona FC. So this initiative is welcome. For me, it's welcome. It's a welcome move because it will bring a lot in Zambia. Like tourism, to bring a lot for us. So it will attract them to see our tourists in Zambia and so many things. Even businessmen in Zambia right now there who have lodges, they will make money. Supermarkets, they'll make money because they'll see Ronaldinho now buying something in their shops. So it's a good thing for us. It brings a lot money, dollars, in terms of economic and such things, when it comes to tourists. So I think all these issues that Lawrence has outlined, the problem is coming from one, fans, two, media houses, three, the reaction from those both parties, ministry and FAZ itself. I think, Lawrence, we are here as a Women to Channel to represent as football sports. You have given me a chance now. I'm on the platform to talk, and then Lawrence will come in and talk. Why can they use the same thing as FAZ and the ministry? There is this issue. They have tabled out as a ministry and FAZ, and then one is coming on the media to announce that there is a solution. I think that's a way forward. But if each and everyone will come with its own resolution, as people here will say there is a fight between FAZ and the Minister of Sports, because the minister he has also his own statements, and FAZ president here has also his own statement. why this Minister of Sports and this FAS can sit together and resolve things and come up with one statement to the media that will go to a lot of people here in Zambia and abroad, than coming with two statements from different FAS and the ministry. We'll see that there is a fight. Why there's no a fight? So if there is no fight, why coming up with a two statement? So I think the house of FAS and the ministry, there has to be in order in terms of giving out statement to the media and to the people, to Zambian people at large. Because we shouldn't see that there is any fight. You know, when we go to social media, they say, no, just because the minister was a friend to Great Kalu. You know, why bringing in Great Kalu? He was even a past president when 2012 these legends were winning. He was the past president. He was an administrator there. So why, instead of congratulating the things that he did good to Zambia, let's congratulate him. Let's honor him as he is alive. We want to honor Kalushawale when he's died. No. That's not a good thing. We have to honor him when he's still alive. We shouldn't talk things about Great Kalu when he's gone. He's in the graveyard. No, he will not listen. He will not even appreciate. So let's talk things good as Kalu is still alive. There will be so many people that will come. Kennedy Mwene will be vying for vice president. Christopher Gatrongo will be vying for vice president. This leadership, they will come and go. But the football will remain as a football game and football business. So let's just operate together as Mother Zambia, as we know that Zambia is a country of peace. Let's maintain that peace and order. That's all what I can say.
All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you very much, Mr. Abi, and also Lameck. This is where we come to the end of our program this evening. Thank you for joining us, our viewers, and keep watching Ubuntu channel, and we can rest assure you that we'll bring different content on this channel for your entertainment and for your information. And just to let you know, on Sunday we'll be joined by the Minister of Sports and Youth, just here on Ubuntu channel at 20 hours. So be on the alert and be on the lookout as we bring the minister this Sunday at 20 hours. For now, it's goodbye from us, and God bless you. Bye-bye.